Welcome to Season 8 of the Finding Peace podcast. This season is focused on practical, trauma-informed tools you can use in everyday life. When emotions run high, relationships feel heavy, or your nervous system needs support. Short episodes designed to help you find more peace, joy, and connection, one moment at a time. Please welcome the host of the Finding Peace podcast, best-selling author, psychotherapist, and speaker, Troy L. Love.
There are moments when you can feel your whole system tip over. Maybe it starts with a conversation, a look on someone's face, a text message you didn't expect, a tone of voice that hits something old inside of you, and suddenly, it's like everything is happening at once. Your chest tightens, your thoughts speed up, your stomach drops, your body feels hot, shaky, restless, or numb. You can't think clearly, and you can't find the right words. You want to run, shut down, lash out, defend, explain, fix, or disappear. That's emotional flooding. Flooding is what it feels like when our nervous system says, this is too much, too fast, all at once. And in those moments, one of the most important things to understand is this: insight is offline. When we're flooded, our best self is not easily available. Our most grounded thinking is not easily available. The part of us that can hold nuance, perspective, empathy, and reflection is harder to access. Not because we're immature or dramatic or failing, because our nervous system is overwhelmed. And if we don't understand that, we'll often try to do the exact wrong thing in the exact wrong moment. We'll try to process when we actually need to recover. We'll try to solve when our nervous system needs soothing. We'll try to understand the storm where we're still standing in the middle of it. Today, I want to talk about what it actually looks like to come down from emotional flooding without shaming ourselves, without forcing insight, and without making things worse. I remember one particular moment that drove this home for me. I was in the middle of a conflict with someone I cared deeply about. It wasn't a screaming fight. In some ways, that almost made it worse. It was one of those conversations where the content wasn't even that dramatic, but something underneath it hit an attachment wound hard. I could feel it happening in real time. At first, I was trying to stay calm and reasonable. I was still saying the right things, still trying to explain my perspective, still trying to be good in the conversation. But inside, my system was escalating. My chest got tight. My jaw clenched. My thoughts started speeding up. I could feel that urgent pressure building, the pressure to make this better, to fix the understanding, to get them to understand what I meant, to stop the disconnection before it got bigger. And then I crossed that invisible line. You know the line I'm talking about? That moment where you're technically still in the room, but you're no longer really available? I wasn't listening anymore. I was scanning. I wasn't connecting anymore. I was protecting. I wasn't responding anymore. I was reacting. I remember trying to keep talking because I thought that that's what mature people do. Stay in it, work it out, push through, don't avoid. But the more I talked, the worse it got. I wasn't getting any clearer. I wasn't getting kinder. I wasn't getting more insightful. I was getting flooded. And eventually, I had had enough awareness to say, I need a minute. Not because I was done with the conversation or that I didn't care. I just needed a minute because my nervous system had left the building. I went into another room, turned down the lights, put my phone away, sat down, stopped trying to rehearse what I wanted to say next, stopped trying to prove my point in my head, stopped listening to the shadows of shame who were screaming at me, stopped trying to figure out what was right. And instead, I did something much simpler. I reduced input. I got quiet. I let my body have less to manage. And only after some time, after my breathing slowed, after my shoulders softened, after the intensity dropped, did I have access again to the part of me that could think, reflect, and reconnect. That moment taught me something I've seen over and over in my life and in therapy. We cannot think our way out of flooding while our body is still in alarm. Flooding is not just being emotional. It's not just being upset. Flooding is a state of overwhelm where our nervous system has too much activation to process effectively. Our body perceives threat, sometimes because of what is happening in the present, and sometimes because the present moment collides with an old attachment wound and stirs up emotions like fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, shame, betrayal, not being understood, not being chosen, not being safe, or not having control. And when that happens, our body mobilizes. Heart rate increases, muscles tighten, breathing changes, thoughts get louder and faster, attention narrows. We become more black and white, more urgent, more reactive. And this is where people often make a crucial mistake. They think, I need to understand why I'm reacting like this right now. Or, we need to finish this conversation right now. Or, I need to explain myself better. Or, I need to figure out whether my feelings are valid. Maybe later, but not first. Because recovery from flooding does not start with processing. It starts with downshifting the nervous system. Not processing or fixing or solving or proving, not making a big relational decision, and not trying to force ourselves into calm. Just helping the body come out of alarm. In Finding Peace, we often say some version of this: safety before strategy, regulation before reflection. Because once flooding takes over, the first assignment is not insight, it is safety, stabilization. It is helping the body believe we are not in immediate danger right now. This is one of the reasons I care so much about helping people understand the difference between processing pain and being consumed by it. When we're flooded, our system is not asking for brilliant interpretation. It is asking for less stimulation, less pressure, less input, less urgency, and less demand. And that can feel counterintuitive, especially if you're someone who copes by thinking, fixing, over-explaining, caretaking, or trying to make everything okay quickly. But after flooding, the goal is not to force clarity. The goal is to create the conditions where clarity can eventually return. So what does recovery look like? Usually it starts with three things. 1, reduce sensory input. When our nervous system is overloaded, everything can feel louder, brighter, faster, and more intrusive. So one of the kindest things we can do is lower the amount of input our nervous system has to process. That might mean dimming the lights, turning off music or television, stepping away from a crowded room, putting our phone down, taking a break from texts, notifications, or social media, getting out of the conversation for a few minutes if it's possible and appropriate. The point is not to avoid. The point is to stop adding fuel to a nervous system that's already overwhelmed. When we're flooded, uncertainty can make everything worse. Our system is already feeling unstable, so it helps to create small anchors of predictability. It might sound something like, I'm going to sit in this chair for 5 minutes. I'm going to get a glass of water. I'm going to wrap up in a blanket. I'm going to step outside and take a short walk. I'm going to come back to this conversation in 20 minutes. For the next 10 minutes, I'm not making any decisions. Predictability calms the nervous system because it reduces the number of unknowns. Flooding is not the time for more intensity. It is not the time to keep pushing the conversation, not the time to relive every painful detail, not the time to ask 6 new questions, not the time to replay the entire argument in your head, not the time to scroll, binge, blast music, or pile on more emotional content if your system is already maxed out. Sometimes, the most healing thing you can do is choose a lower stimulation environment and let your body catch up. That might mean silence. It might mean soft lighting. It might mean a familiar blanket, slower breathing, a simple repetitive task, or simply sitting somewhere that feels contained and safe. Let me name a few things that don't usually help when we're flooded. Trying to force a breakthrough conversation. Demanding an immediate answer from yourself or someone else. Making a major decision in the middle of activation. Asking or hearing the judge say, "Why are you being like this?" in a shaming tone. Replaying every detail over and over and over again. Trying to solve the whole problem before your body has settled. Treating yourself like you should just be able to calm down already. Flooding is not a character flaw, it's a state. And states need different interventions than stories do. So, let me give you a very simple coming down from flooding reset. You can use this after conflict, after a trigger, after an attachment wound got hit, after a wave of panic, or any time your system feels like it's moving too fast. First, name what is happening. You don't have to analyze it, just name it. You might say, "I'm flooded. My nervous system is overwhelmed. I am not in a place to process this right now. This is too much, too fast all at once." Because sometimes naming it interrupts the shame and helps us move toward care instead of criticism. Second, reduce the input. Ask ourselves, can I dim the lights or lower the noise or put my phone away? Can I step into a quiet room? Can I take a pause from the conversation? This is not quitting. This is creating conditions for recovery. Third, simplify decisions. When we're flooded, even small choices can feel overwhelming. So make the next 10 minutes incredibly simple. What do I need right now? What do I need to do right now? Not for the rest of the day, not for the relationship, not for my entire life, just right now. Maybe I need water. Maybe what I need is quiet, a blanket, sitting outside, feeling the sunshine on my face, walking slowly, one calming song, noticing my feet on the floor, putting my hand on my chest, silence for 5 minutes. Keep it simple. Fourth, postpone processing. This is a big one, and it's hard for me to do too. Tell yourself, I can come back to understanding this later. Right now, I'm helping my body calm down. That sentence matters because it reminds our nervous system that we are not abandoning the issue, we are sequencing it. First regulation, then reflection. First safety, and then meaning. If you want to try this with me right now, look around the room and find 3 things that feel neutral or steady. Maybe it's the corner of the room, a lamp, a plant, a blanket, a picture frame, the floor beneath you. And notice the support underneath your body. If you're sitting, feel the chair. If you're standing, feel your feet on the ground. Take one breath you don't have to force, and then ask yourself, what would make the next 5 minutes feel less intense? And then follow through. That's the whole practice today. If you take nothing else from this episode, I want you to remember this. When you are emotionally flooded, your first job is not to understand everything. Your first job is to help your nervous system come back within range, to reduce input, to lower stimulation. to create a little predictability, to stop demanding insight from a body that is still bracing for impact. Because regulation after the storm matters more than the analysis of it. Understanding can come later. The conversations can come later. The meaning can come later. But first, gently allow yourself to come down, not with shame or force or demanding that we be better, but by helping our nervous system feel a little safer than it did a few minutes ago. And sometimes that is the most mature thing we can do. Remember, you are enough, you matter, and you are worthy of love and belonging.
You've been listening to the Finding Peace podcast. Special thanks to Intrex for providing the theme music for this season and helping set the tone for reflection, grounding, and hope. If this episode supported you, please like, subscribe, and share the Finding Peace podcast. Your support helps these practical, trauma-informed tools reach more people who are seeking peace, clarity, and connection. To explore more resources, workshops, and upcoming events, visit findingpeaceconsulting.com. The Finding Peace podcast is hosted by best-selling author, psychotherapist, and speaker Troy L. Love. Until next time, remember, you are worthy of love and belonging.